Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new. Today I want to talk about some brands that I wish were cruelty-free and the products I would buy from them if they were. Obviously the easy answer to this question is I wish every brand was cruelty-free, and if you're not familiar with the cruelty-free terminology, it simply means that the company does or does not test on animals. So if a brand is considered cruelty-free, it means that they do not test on animals and that their manufacturers also do not test on animals. There's a lot of more definitions you can find. I think some really great resources are Ethical Elephant, Logical Harmony. There's several other ones like Cruelty-Free Kitty is a really good resource too. I will have some websites linked down below. I try to purchase cruelty-free makeup. I still have some products in my collection that are not cruelty-free that I might have previously owned before I kind of made the switch to supporting cruelty-free brands. But I'm not gonna lie, there are some products that I used to own or that I own now that I either miss and I wish that I could repurchase, or I kind of savor because I know when I use it up, I'm really going to want to repurchase it. I have 11 brands to talk about in today's video, 8 of which I have very specific things that I really want to try, and then 3 which are just a little bit more loose, like just in general, I just really find myself being drawn to products from those brands quite often. So let's start out with the brand that's really inspired this entire video, and it's Nars. I love so many products from Nars, and it makes it so complicated because I used to own a lot of products from Nars and I fell in love with all of them, and so now it's like I want them, I can't find any alternatives to some of their things. So there are 4 products that I would love to purchase from Nars if they were, again, cruelty-free. I believe they used to be cruelty-free and then now they're not. I'm gonna scoot over so that I can put the pictures of these products I'm talking about here, and let's just go through it. So first things first, I would love to use the Tinted Smudge Proof eyeshadow base again. I loved this. I recently used it up. I finished it last year, like at the very end of the year, and I loved it so much. It's like the perfect eyeshadow base ever. It made my eyeshadow just last so long. It didn't crease. It didn't cover your veins completely, but it gave you a really nice base to kind of clear them out, and then you could do that with a skin tone eyeshadow or something. But I just loved that so much. I would love to have it again. I'm also very intrigued by their liquid blushes. So they have a little container that has a liquid blush in it. It's like a pump, and that just looks so nice. I've been drawn to it so many times, but I will not be getting that unless they become cruelty-free. Next up, there are 2 concealers that I would love to have from this brand, one of which I used to have. It was the Radiant Creamy Concealer. This thing was my favorite. I was so sad when I used this up and then couldn't repurchase it. I would also really love to try the potted concealer from them. I think it's called the Soft Matte Concealer. I have been actually searching for a dupe for this, like a cruelty-free dupe. It doesn't even have to be significantly less money. I just want it to be just as good as that because I've heard such good things about it. So if you know of a dupe for that potted concealer, I would love for you to let me know in the comments. And the last thing that I have on my list that I would love to try from Nars if they were cruelty-free is one of their lipsticks, or all of their lipsticks, but specifically the ones that are really balmy. I would love to try those. The second brand that I wanted to talk about is Misha. You guys might not have known, but I had my Misha Bb Cream in my project pan. Spoiler alert, I finished it up in January, and you guys, I miss it so much. Lay down, Henry. Henry is making his bed. That BB cream has just the perfect amount of coverage. It's such a comfortable formula, and it lasted really well on my skin throughout the day. So if Misha was cruelty-free, I would absolutely pick up that BB cream again. The third brand is L'Oreal. Now, the drugstore is somewhere where I would really like to see a lot more cruelty-free brands come into play, because I feel like when you go to Walmart, for instance, just a drugstore, and you walk down the makeup aisle, there's really only usually in the minimum, not every Walmart carries every single brand, and I feel the main 2 cruelty-free brands are e.l.f. and CoverGirl, which is great. I'm so glad that they're cruelty-free, but CoverGirl even used to not be cruelty-free. So there's just such limited options for cruelty-free drugstore makeup, I feel especially that's super accessible and very, very affordable. Wet n Wild is not cruelty-free. I don't know. And they say that they're cruelty free, but I personally just don't trust PETA as a resource. So when someone is registered with PETA as cruelty free, like I totally disregard that and I find it through my own resources. But I just wish that companies like L'Oreal would become cruelty free. I just don't understand like why in today's day and age we need to be testing on animals. I feel like we know so much about makeup and these companies have to know a ton about the products that are going into them already because there's already so many makeup products out on the market. So I just can't understand how a new product in product development or anything like that could be so unique, for lack of a better word, where it would even be worth testing on animals. So that's got to be super expensive also. From L'Oreal, I would love to be able to get the Lash Paradise mascara. This was my favorite mascara before I went cruelty free. I love this stuff so much. Even the waterproof one's like terribly difficult to get off, but if you need a good, like truly waterproof, not water resistant, like waterproof mascara, that was the best one. And I would also just love to be able to try like all of their mascaras because they all look so good, but we're gonna not dwell on that because we're not gonna be trying any of them. Next up is Benefit. I feel like out of all of the things that come up on like Trend Mood and stuff, Benefit always catches my eye. So I've got several products from them that I would love to have in my collection if they were cruelty free. So of course the Hula Bronzer. I feel like I'd probably get the Hula Light, but it just looks so nice. And then specifically, not just that bronzer, but the bronzer palette that's got like bronzers and highlights and blushes. Mandy Leah here on YouTube always talks about that palette and it looks so nice. So that specifically is on my radar, like if they were ever cruelty free, is that face palette. I would also really like to try the roller liner and specifically the brown one. I just like, why can't Benefit be cruelty free? I just don't know. I would also really like to try their brow gel. And then the last product from them that I would love to have in my collection, it catches my eye every single time I see it. I think it's so cute, and it's the Boing concealer. It looks like a little pencil and it just like, you know, it's just so cute. And yeah, I would love to try out that formula. So yeah, Benefit is definitely one. And this is not like limited to these items. This is like, when I think of the brand, I want those items. Most of these, like, I already know. I'm like, if this brand ever goes cruelty free, I'll be spending like $200 on their website. Next up, I cannot make this video and not talk about Almei. I love their Worry Less lipstick. You guys probably know this if you've been around on my channel, but I'm obsessed with that lipstick. It's like a mauve-y kind of like semi-translucent lipstick. Like it's a bullet lipstick, but it's just not completely opaque. It's just got like a really nice tint to it. Actually today I have on the Bite lip crayon in the shade Cava. I went and got this because I think they're discontinuing them and I have really wanted this shade. So my husband got this for me for Valentine's Day and I have a different lip liner on, but this is like a similar tone to Almei Worry Less. So I'm happy about that, but there's just nothing that I have found that really truly compares to it. So I would really love to be able to just continually repurchase this and not feel bad about it. Number 6 is Maybelline. Maybelline and L'Oreal are two huge drugstore makeup brands that I really wish were cruelty free. From Maybelline, I would love to have some of their lipsticks. Specifically, I used to love their lip crayons so much, and I like honestly miss some of those. And also their mattifying liquid lipsticks look really nice. And there's been so much hype about their lifter glosses too that I would love to try those. And then the Fit Me line. So this is another one that I really miss. I used to have the concealer from Maybelline. I want to say it was the Fit Me. They have two, right? They have the one with the sponge and then they have the one that kind of looks like the Nars one where it's just like a skinny tube with a doe foot. I loved both of those and I would 100% love to have those back in my collection. I also would love to try their Fit Me loose powder and then also their dewy foundation. I would love to have all of those in my collection. And then the last thing from Maybelline is the Sky High mascara. That one has gotten a lot of hype as well and I think that I would really like it. But yeah, Maybelline, I feel like that's Maybelline and L'Oreal are like my two drugstore brands. If I had to look at all of these like that I would want to be cruelty free, if I could just pick just two, I would think I would have to go with Nars and Benefit. Nars is like definitely my number one though. Number 7 is MAC. I have always wanted to have MAC lipsticks. I don't think I've ever owned one, but I would really like to, especially if they were cruelty free. I would be all over that for sure. I feel like they have a lipstick shade for everyone, a lipstick formula for everyone. I just know, like, I've looked at their store and like gone in like years ago and looked at all of their lipsticks and just been obsessed with them. But at the time, like before I was cruelty free, I was like, oh, I can't spend $20 or however much it is on a lipstick. Now I'm like, okay, every now and then it's okay. But yeah, I would love to try their lipsticks. And then I'd also really like to try their powder foundation. I've heard really good things about that, and it just makes me sad. This video is kind of making me sad because it's like all these products that look so wonderful and I just don't feel comfortable trying them. Number 8 is Makeup Forever. This is the last brand that I had like super specific products that I would want to try from them. And first up here is the Endless Cacao liner. And of course this is because of Katie Jane Hughes. I feel like anyone who buys that liner probably bought it because of her, or at least like the vast majority of people. But she's like always using that for everything. It's like her perfect lip combo with that and like a lighter lipstick on the rest of the lips. But yeah, I think it's like a 3-in-1. You can use it as a brow product, an eyeliner, or a lip liner. I would love to have that liner. And then I also put the Ultra HD foundation. However, I did have a sample of that. Like, it was free with purchase. It came like in a little, you know, aluminum kind of thing. And I didn't really like it that much, so I don't really know if I would actually pick that one up, but I have always wanted to try it, and maybe it would be different if it was in my actual shade. I'm not sure, but I did go ahead and put that on this list because it is something that I've had my eye on for a while. And then I've got 3 more brands I would love to try, but I didn't have any like super specific products. I guess I do for the next one, which is going to be Dior. And I would really love to try like some of their face products, like their cheek products. There is a like bubblegum pink blush that I see on Instagram sometimes. It just looks so pretty, but I don't know that I would actually pick it up, as well as like their face palette that's got the 4 shades. So that's kind of why, like, in general, I would like that brand to be cruelty free. But maybe their lip products. Oh yeah, okay, that's the one where it's got like, I think it's like a lip balm kind of thing. I'll have to put a picture up, but yeah, I would actually really like to try that. And then the last 2 are drugstore. I kind of mentioned Wet n Wild earlier. I would love for them to be cruelty free. I used to have so many products from Wet n Wild. And the last one is Physicians Formula. I figured I would talk about these together, but I also used to love a lot of products from Physicians Formula, specifically the Healthy Skin Foundation, but I don't know that they still have that anymore. I feel like I heard a lot about them discontinuing it. That was right around the time when I went cruelty free, so I'm really not sure the status on that now. I know they have a new foundation that Emily from Emily's Makeup Bag loves, but I think she mentioned it having a strong fragrance or something, so I probably wouldn't realistically pick that up even if they were cruelty free. But those 2 brands, Wet n Wild and Physicians Formula as well, I'm like, why? They used to be cruelty free. Like I mentioned, I do have some resources that I really trust. Another really great thing that I appreciate is there's a lot of cruelty free content creators, and so people like Kelly Gooch and Sarah Rose, they make really great videos, and they also feature cruelty free makeup. So I typically use them as a resource as well, but I take it with a grain of salt because I do understand that people do make mistakes and you might end up buying a product if you thought that it was cruelty free or something. But I do tend to like look up to those people and look at like, oh, okay, well, I want to try this gloss from Cava, and I've seen Kelly Gooch use something from Cava before, so I think that they're cruelty free, but let me just double check really quick. That's kind of like how my process goes for that or whatever. But yeah, overall, I of course wish no brands would test on animals, but there's so many other ethical issues within makeup brands and how products are produced and everything like that. So there's just like one small issue there, but nonetheless, hopefully we're taking some steps in the right direction. We have seen some really large companies become cruelty free, like Garnier and CoverGirl. So those are some brands that I really want to be supporting. So, you know, I think we're taking a step in the right direction. Hopefully we continue to do that. But these are just some brands that I really wish were cruelty free, and I wanted to share with you all the products that I would buy from them if they were. with that being said, that's going to be it for today's video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed this like a different style of video. I've just been thinking so much about how I miss some of these products from like Nars and Misha, and how much Benefit just really catches my eye. So I just wanted to sit down and kind of like put all my thoughts together and make this video. But my, oh my wallet would be in trouble if all of these brands became cruelty-free, and I'll leave it at that. If you like this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and also consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!